I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery, and today I'm going to be talking about facing the new year without alcohol. So if you're basically one of the people that are going to be quitting drinking for the new year, then you're in good company, because there's so many people around the world that do the same thing. And whether you're going to quit for good or whether you're just going to have a dry January, it's up to yourself. A dry January will give you a brief sort of insight into what it's like not to have alcohol. And obviously if you're quitting alcohol for good, then the more you go on with this, the more insight you'll get, the better you'll feel, and the more you'll be certain that what you've done is the good thing. So if you're just going into this with the idea of stopping drinking for just a month, then just do it, and fair play to you for doing it. If you're looking at it for a more long-term approach and you're not going to drink again and you're going to quit the alcohol for good, the first thing I'd say is basically have a positive approach to it. Don't look at it in any negative way. You have to start out believing that you're in full control, that it's you that pushes the buttons, it's you that pops the cork, it's you that unscrews the bottle top, it's you that pulls the ring cap, and at the end of the day, ultimately, it's you that pours the alcohol into your throat. So that's the thing that you have to understand from the beginning, is that it's nobody else's fault. You can't blame the alcohol. People try and say, well, it's the demon drink. There's nothing demon about it. It's the demon mind. If you say to yourself from the start, from the beginning, that you're in control, and if you say to yourself over and over again that I've no one else to blame but myself, then you can't turn around later on and go, well, I couldn't help it, I had to have a drink, I couldn't help it, because that's going to be bullshit, It's all, it's in your power. One of the things that I've discovered during the year is that if you focus backwards, if you focus on the alcohol and the things that you're missing, so you're missing alcohol when you go out, you're missing alcohol for this, then it doesn't work. You're just all this time, it's like you're dragging a chain behind you with all these past memories that you don't need anymore. What you need to do is you have to think about the future. And in order to think about the future, you need to have a goal. So you need to have like a destination, somewhere that you go. And you wouldn't leave your house and go, well, I don't know where I'm going today, Maybe you would, but you wouldn't get very far. And it's just like a magical mystery tour, That might be good when you're bored on a day off, but when you're trying to quit drinking, it doesn't help. You need to have something specific, tangible, measurable, as realistic in your mind as you can make it, When you're thinking about your goals, try and make them very concrete. Try and make the images when you're visualizing where you want to be in a year's time, or 2 years' time, or 10 years' time, 6 months' time. Make them as visual inside your brain as you can. Also, bring as many of your senses in as you possibly can, smell things in the future, smell what it's going to be like to be in that situation. See yourself, hear yourself talking, and hear other people around you talking. Bring as many of your you need to be realistic, and make your visualization as realistic as possible. Another thing that you have to realize is that all the symptoms, the side effects, the cravings, they're all in your control as well. And how you think about those cravings, how you think about the symptoms and the side effects, is going to depend on how they manifest in yourself. So if you think that they're going to be big, badass, they're going to kick your ass and they're going to make you feel miserable and stuff, then that is probably more than likely what they're going to do. First thing is that they don't last forever. They're going to last a bit longer in some people and a bit shorter in other people. And it doesn't just depend on how long you've been drinking. It really does depend on a lot of the internal, how strong you are inside your mind and how determined you are to quit drinking. So from that perspective, really think positively, think that you're going to just knuckle down and get on with it, Think about the symptoms and the cravings and the side effects as being the alcohol addiction inside your body dying. This is the thing that helped me, even view it as some little monster inside you, So my addiction was always the golem from Lord of the Rings, and I could see him just withering away and pleading for me to help him and give him his little precious. But that gave me the strength to sort of get over those sleepless nights and get over the other little symptoms that I was getting. So if you feel symptoms coming on, if you feel yourself that you're getting cravings or you're feeling little side effects of not having a drink, then don't sit down and do nothing and think about it. Get up and do something. Take a walk around the block, take a walk around 10 blocks. At the end of the day, it's taking your mind off it, and then the exercise will do you good as well. While you're walking, refocus on your future, do your visualizations and think about exactly what you're going to be doing in the future, the great things that you're going to be achieving because you don't drink anymore, because you're not locked into this prison of drunken and then hangover, drunken and then hangover, Another thing is to try and figure out what your triggers are. So your triggers are times and places and people and things that have usually triggered the event in the past. So have usually triggered you drinking in the past. For me, my triggers used to always be after dinner, finishing work, the evening time sitting in front of the telly. Stressful times would always, first thing I would think of would be to have a drink. Other times for me would be weekends, like I generally go out and watch football matches at the weekends, and that was always a big trigger. And the thing about these triggers is that, once you know it's happening, you can alter the course of the trigger. So if, for instance, you're sitting at the table and you normally have a drink with your dinner, then have something else to drink, or change the places where you're eating your dinner. So instead of sitting in front of the television eating your dinner, go and sit at the dining table, or instead of sitting at the dining table, sit in front of the telly. When you feel a trigger happening, get up and do something. Just change it in your mind. It's as soon as you feel the trigger coming on, it's there, it's happening. So you have to sort of force yourself out of that way of thinking, because if you don't, you know where it's obviously going to lead you. So it's basically to have a plan for when these triggers occur. So sit down and make a list of all the times when you would normally drink and what triggers it. Think about the different things that you're doing, people that you're with, the places where you are, the emotions. There's a lot of emotional triggers. I remember loads of emotional triggers, so bring those in as well, and try and make an alternative version of the trigger. So this is what I'm going to do when the trigger happens. So I hope that helps. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.